Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Javier and Tad, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. My brother AJ, how's it going? Andres is first. You made it, man. How's it going? By the way, I think you still owe me either some pictures or a video. Just throwing that out there. Alex. Hey, man. Thanks for signing up, Alex. I truly appreciate it. You are the man. I'm pumped to trade with you from here on out. Johnny says, what's going on? Asha, how are you? Francisco, Javier. Jill from Australia. Benjamin, how's it going? Bill Myers, Brad, Court, Doug, DJ Fred, Greg, James, John, Jorge, Kevin, Marsha, Mike, Roberto, Sophia, Steve, Tommy, William, and Yin. Hope everyone's doing fantastic. I'm ready to rock out Tech Giant Tuesday. It's the best place to be on the internet from 5 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. Let's go make a lot of money. Let's go do it. We're looking at the SPY today. The broad markets, there's not much to talk about. There's a chance that we're bullish. We made another higher high on the SPY today, and it looks really good. Trends looking nice. Things looking nice. At some point, we will get a pullback, but if we do, it'll be a buyable event. So if you're looking at the daily chart, right, if your time frame is more of a swing trader, as Benjamin says, buy the salsa. That is correct. So if it comes down, especially into the 20, maybe pulls down to that 20 EMA, always about planning in the future. So if it happens, it happens. At this point, if you're long, stay long. Keep holding, keep being awesome, keep rocking it out. Here's the Qs. Today is Tech Giant Tuesday, and the Qs are up. Oh, no big deal, 0.83%. Another target on the Qs, 178.41. We're about 10 points away from there. Actually, 9 points, if you want to be mathematically accurate. Same thing. Does anybody want to take a guess or a stab at the type of gap that happened today on the Qs? Retest gap, exactly. So we could get a big sell-off tomorrow. I'm not saying it's going to happen necessarily, but if it does, right, I will just be looking out for some viable opportunities. Pretty much everything that I'm pulling up right now, the vast majority of the trades out there, I'm thinking to myself, man, if you ain't in these, you missed them. I'm looking for as low as I can as a buying opportunity. Greg says, why is it a retest versus a gap and go? Very easy, actually. It's a white candle gapping up. That's it. So when a bullish candle gaps up, you have people who are looking to sell for a profit and lock in a profit. So when they sell, the retest starts coming in. Type in a 1 if you want like a gap cheat sheet. I had a real life trader make one of these not too long ago. It's a very easy cheat sheet. Give me about 1 second, and I will just send it to you right here. I've looked it over 3 or 4 times, and it is legit accurate. Wow, Eric, that was fast. Oh, man. Woo! Eric T. Dude, there's very few people in this world that can out-type me. That was amazing. He said he still had it open. Either way, that's impressive. Vincent said, made my own, but would still like to see it. Yes, so I had a real-life trader make this, just in case you guys want to check it out. But, again, the terminology doesn't matter, right? So, Greg, the beautiful part about it is you could call this whatever you want. You could call it the T-bone and mashed potato steak dinner gap. If you can look at this chart and look at the candlestick, and you can see this and see we have a candle here. This is a shaved top candle, meaning the high and the close is the exact same. So the only way you get candles like this is from a bunch of people buying. So when the stock gaps up the next day, at some point, you will get those buyers who bought on the red arrow. They're going to sell, locking in profit, causing that retest to happen. Now, you can call it a retest. You could call it a pullback. You could call it a retracement. But that's the sentiment. And we have seen that so many times. Right, a lot of times you get that retest. This would be an example of a gap and go right here. This is another example of a gap and go right there. Here's another gap and go, and this is a retest gap, and you can see kind of the differences between the two. So anyway, very good question. Bottom line, trend is strong, markets are strong. If we get up to this 178.41 price in the next 2-3 weeks, which heck, we probably could. Great place to sell. Lock in profits. And let me mute that microphone. And sorry, I had an extra microphone out there. And that'll be, yeah, if we get up to that 178 level, I'll just be looking to sell. Here's the IWM. IWM, another higher high and a higher low. Again, and the reason I keep asking, it's not because, it's not because I want to reiterate this. What type of gap is this here in purple, the purple arrow? It's a small gap, and it's important. Because once you understand this gap, right, when you get that breakout, when you get this candle breaking out, right, you know it's a retest gap. So you're going to say, if you didn't take the breakout, what could you do? Yeah, exactly. You buy the retest. It really is that simple. You just look for that S curve to come in. This is the retest. That's where you buy, right in here. This is you buying that dip. You are buying into weakness. You're buying the S curve. This is what I call the S curve. And it is a very powerful timing indicator. It gives you the opportunity to buy into weakness. Get very good at drawing these on your charts. Get good at drawing these freehand. Feel free to create a piece of paper and just write these things down. That's where you want to buy. You want to buy the S curve, the pullback, the retracement, the dip, the salsa, right? That weakness. That's you getting into those trades. So anyway, the next target on the IWM is 161.23. All that is saying is if you do have some short-term call options, some shares, you're looking for a place to lock in some profits, that could be a location. That's my general broad market overview. Any questions, concerns, thoughts, or oppositional viewpoints before we hop into some stocks? Sandra says, so clear. Thanks. You're welcome. John says, I'm not clear on what you scan you use in the afternoon to look for swings. I just look for gaps, John, number one. And number two, the afternoon trading floor is for review and request stocks. So you guys, traders from around the world, tell me what stocks you want me to look at. I go look at them and I review them for you. These are just the broad market ETFs, right? The Russell, the SPY, the Dow. And of course, you have certain sectors, right? So today's Tech Giant Tuesday. You can probably guess we're going to be looking at Apple, Alibaba, Facebook, Netflix. Tomorrow, Energy Wednesday, we're going to be covering some energy stocks, right? Exxon Mobil, right? So on and so forth. So let's hop in. Do I have Baidu on the list? I do not. I'll put it on the list. All right. Let's go hop into the first stock that was requested, IMMU. Butch says, can you look at TCEHY? I think I have time for that one. Brian Montgomery says, hola. What's up, buddy? Good job on TER today. IMMU. What I'm doing is I don't know what the stock is. I'm just pulling it up. This is one that Kim looks at, I think. What's the trend on this one, folks? What is the trend? That's the number one thing I'm looking for. Bullish, yeah. So what type of trade are we going to look for? A bullish one. So here's the daily chart. And let me see some fours, type of four into the chat pane. If you can see some S curves on this particular daily chart. I'll draw them for you regardless. But again, this is a powerful thing, folks. This part right here, what I'm about to tell you, will make you $169 a day, hopefully. Here's the S curve. Here's one of them. Here's two of them right there. This is a third one. You can actually draw it a little bit bigger with a different color. Here's a big one right there. That's the S curve, right? So you actually have 2 or 3 different ones on different time frames on IMMU. So if you were looking at, let's say you haven't gotten into the trade yet and you're looking at getting in bullish, you could have a plan that says something like this, right? Does that make sense? That's how you plan stocks in advance. It is that simple. Now the question is, do we know if it's going to work? No, but that's irrelevant. We never know if anything's going to work in the stock market. Everything works in the stock market, just not all the time. I can give you a million different strategies. We'll be here until January 23rd, 2074, and then I'll finally get done with my strategies that I know. But the goal is, can you create something very simple and then just follow it, right? So that would be my plan on IMMU. If you are not in, look to buy a dip. Now, what if you have a shorter term time frame? What if you can be by the computer a little bit more frequently? You can pull up the chart a little bit more frequently. You're a little bit more tech savvy. You don't have to work as much. Hop into the hourly chart, right? Once you hop into the hourly chart, you get a whole different perspective. So here on the hourly chart, this is where the bill paying it happens. Look at this double bottom right here. Look at this S curve on the hourly time frame. Just pulls right into that 10 and bounces. So the hourly chart is for your more active traders, buy the computer a little bit more familiar with technology, computer situation, your broker, so on and so forth. If you're a little bit more of a beginner, newer trader, you're probably focusing on the daily chart more. It's a little bit slower, right? So the hourly chart. If you are an active swing trader like myself, you're an active day trader, or you need to pay those bills, hourly chart's a great way to use it. You'll see me zoom into the hourly chart very often. Chaz says it's hard to see on shorter term time frames. Kind of. It just depends. I agree. It just takes a little bit of practice. So here's an S curve right here. Here's a bigger one, right? Nice little pullback into the 50. This is your distribution phase right there. Public participation. We broke out again, another S curve right here into the old resistance, new support. Just takes practice, man. And I make it look simple, guys. I get that, but I've looked at this for 10,000 hours. People say that's how long it takes to get mastery. I did 10,000 hours in like my first 3 years. So whatever I'm at now. Anyway, that's IMMU. Next on the list, we got ourselves BB. This is a big one. This is BlackBerry. Believe it or not, BlackBerry. And this thing is starting to break out. This is the weekly chart on BlackBerry. Kevin Stone snagged a share or two on this one, so congrats, Kevin. This is the weekly time frame. Here's the monthly time frame. What phase of the market is BlackBerry in down here, ladies and gents? Accumulation, exactly. So we're in accumulation phase. We're at a low level. We're starting to break out. I will post a previous chart that I have on BlackBerry. So you guys just sit tight for about 17 seconds. I'm gonna throw in a BlackBerry chart. I think we're gonna post a bullish trade on BlackBerry. Marios asks, accumulation is higher lows and lower highs. Higher lows and lower highs. Accumulation is more like, so here's when I first started noticing it back in December, and then here's the most recent post. So accumulation is just when it trades sideways at a nice longer term support. Yeah, it's just pretty much going sideways. So this is when I first noticed it. This was back in December 22, 2017. How would you guys like to hopped in that trade back at 1160, 10% ago? So started noticing it, noticed the accumulation phase, right? We all know that kind of broke out from there. And then this is the most recent move, talking about this real retest gap. And you can see, and again, I posted the chart that we're kind of retesting and chilling out here. So I think we're going to be taking a trade on BlackBerry, bullish. My biggest question is when and where. I would have loved to have gotten to the 20, and we didn't quite get there. Right, a bounce off the 20 would have been fantastic. Stop below the 50, that would have been great. Let me hop in here to the hourly chart. Again, for my more aggressive traders, you might be watching this little pop right about here. So what I would like it to do is I want it to close above here tomorrow, and then I'm going to catch the pullback. Steven says, is that a morning star on the daily? Very close to it. Yeah, you have two candles. I don't talk about this very often. You can blend these two candles and you'll get an inside candle. And then if you use this candle and this candle, yeah, it's a morning star. So it's morning star-esque, right? Kind of like tofu, Steven. It's almost meat. John says, how many gap definitions do you have? 2. I have 2 of them. It's a lot. All right, so BlackBerry. I want it to close above trigger, and tomorrow, Thursday, buy on a pullback. Anybody want to define what this is for me? What I'm writing in down here? This is the plan. That's right. That's me creating a plan of what I want it to do in the future. What if BlackBerry does this tomorrow? Well, Kevin Stone will be happy because he's making some money. But I will miss the trade because if it doesn't pull back, it doesn't pull back. Simple as that. But I am starting to watch it. I've been watching it since December 22nd. I am usually a perma bear. So we'll see. John says, can you explain the two in detail for me? I would love to, sir. Let me send you a video, Mr. John P., and it will blow your mind. How about that? Let's do this. The most important video about gaps. Here you go, sir.
Hey.
So if you want to do something for me and just crush that video and let me know what questions you have. Enjoy, John P., and thanks for being here. John says, why not get in as it goes up? You want to buy as cheap as possible. So I want to buy low, sell high. I want it to prove that it closes above here, and I want it to pull back. All about the plan. Next on the list is TER. Looking at this one for my boy, Brian Montgomery. Did you close your trade on this one, Brian, or are you holding it until tomorrow? I'm not in this trade. I only know one trader who is in. But look at this retest. So pretty. Here's a resistance. What type of gap is this, my friends? Brian says negative, looking to close tomorrow. All right, champ. You better close January up or you're in trouble. That is a gap and go. Exactly. Bullish gap. So we have a little bit more of a stronger gap in that point. Stronger gap. So what does it do? It breaks really quickly bullish. Boop. Pulls back. Boop. That's the retest right here. That's the buying opportunity if you were not in already. Boop. And then that's a continuation. So, yeah, worked out. Marta says, TER earnings are on Wednesday. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Thank you for the reminder. He told me that earlier today. He's going to get out later tomorrow. I think tomorrow is Wednesday. Yeah, so they're Wednesday night, right, Marta, I believe? I think they report after the close, if I'm not mistaken. Before market. It'll be one of the two. One of the two. Anyway, that's Teradyne. All right, next we have the list. Santi says, if I'm holding the stock and it retests, I buy the calls. Ooh, fun strategy. I did have BIDU on there. Good job, Jeremy. Pat on the back. BIDU, this is a swing trade that we are already in. I looked at this one yesterday, and so if you set up a limit to get in yesterday, you could have bought at open this morning, and you would have gotten filled very nicely. 5 points ago, in fact. So BIDU, my target's 272.59. Let's hope the 20 EMA does its job and just slowly continues higher. This is the retest right here, and hopefully this is the bounce. So again, we looked at BIDU yesterday, and for those of you who subscribe to the afternoon swing trading floor, you've been in this trade for a bit as well. So that's pretty much it on BIDU. Marta says, since it's Tech Giant Tuesday, TXN had earnings today after close, beat expectations, the stock's getting hammered. What do you think? Let's talk about it at the end. Yeah, I only have an hour, so I can't have everything in the world, but I think I can make time for that one. Let's go look at LFIN, which is almost LFIO. LFIN. Long fin. Yep, it didn't do it. New IPO, right? As you guys can tell, pretty much brand new to the scene. This was a doozy of a Morningstar reversal pattern, but was running into the moving average. You had an inside day candle. You got a bullish gap and go, which looks exciting. I was going to get in here by here, but probably not anymore. I'm going to put LFIN on the list for Friday. Type in 3 if you're still going to be around on Friday. The answer is I should get a lot of 3s because it's still the free week. Now, the people who are really committed to being awesome and enriching lives around the world will be here on Monday of next week as well. LFIN on the list for Friday. Right now, nothing exciting is happening, but we will see. You guys are all too kind. Thank you for the threes. Woo-wee! Loving it. Next on the list, we have Momo. Ticker symbol MOMO. And Momo, I got into this trade from a bit ago. I had a put sale on Momo back in November. This is the weekly chart, and here's the 100 simple moving average on the weekly, and it's working on bouncing off of that. So it's working on bouncing off of the 100. I got a $35 covered call for April. The analysis on this was just really buy low, sell high. That was all I did on this one. Nothing exciting. You had a nice trend, nice pullback, nice trend. You got like a double top up here. Stock was going down, stock was going down, stock was going down, and it kind of bounced. Manesh asked a very good question. Which works best, the 100 EMA or SMA? What works better, a Honda or a Toyota? Again, people have their opinions, people have their preferences, but more or less, it's all the same. To give you an idea, some of them work, just not all the time. So there's times where it'll bounce off the 100 simple, but not the 100 exponential. Those times it'll bounce off the 100 exponential, but not the simple. Those times it won't bounce off of either. There's times it will bounce off of either. So anyway, Manesh, the answer is they all work, man. I just use the 100 simple and the 200 simple. That's just what I learned with, and they work, just not all the time. So anyway, that's Momo. No new trade. I'm just updating some of the traders who have already been in this one for a while, been in with me. I'm just updating them for those who are here or watching the recording. I think I have MU on here. I do. I got MU on here, Jorge. So we're getting there, brother. We're getting there. I know you're pumped and excited. I am too. Give me about 20 minutes and I got you. Roku. Roku today gapped up. There's a white candle gapping up. This was a retest gap, and it definitely retested. So here's your white candle gapping up. This was a trade that Brad and a few others played very early in the morning room today. And depending on how you played this one, you could have made a little bit of a gainage. Just depends on how you played. It was tough. I posted in the morning room to start taking some profit right here. Obviously, when things move quickly, it's hard to do everything. Brad made about half an R. Some traders made anywhere between 0.1 R and half an R on this trade. So, you know, it wasn't a huge home run. It was okay. Whatever. Those happen. Plenty of them. Honestly, if you can make half an R every day for the rest of your life, you will be a very rich human. Very rich human. So this is the EMAs on the 5-minute chart. And you'll actually notice it did pull back this morning into the 10, or I'm sorry, the 50, and then bounce, and then kind of double top, and then kind of roll down. So, you know, we will see. Andre says, depends on your R. Compounding interest, man, over time gets quick. It can grow, my friend. It can grow. It's all about protecting that profit. Don't have those big losses. Keep that R nice and protected. Keep it safe and warm in the winter. Lax says, Jeremy, would you call this a fad? Roku? Oh, that's a good question. Woo! Okay, let me go down a 2-minute tangent about Roku. So I was a perma bear on Roku back in here until, oh, he might mean fade. I got you. Well, I'll answer the fad question too. This gap right there was earnings, and earnings were actually really good. That's the thing. Earnings were solid, so I had to shut my big fat mouth and say, okay, well, looks like the people are actually buying these things. They're making revenue. They're making good earnings. So as far as it being a fad, I would say not yet. As far as it, if you add an E to that word and you're spelling the word fade, fade is playing the trade bearish. Which you could have done and you would have made money. Brad played it bullish this morning, and so did Kevin, Stone, and Tim, and a few other traders for a small gain. So that was not a fade. But if you played the fade, if you played the stock bearish today, Yes, that would have been a fake. Steven says, where is it heading from here? You know what? Let me give you the best chart I know of on Roku. Type in a, I know I'm asking you guys to type in a lot of stuff. Type in a 7 if you want a really cool feature on TradingView. Here's another reason why I use it. This is another thing right here. This is worth 169 bucks right here as well. See this little light bulb thing? You can click on that light bulb and select ideas. So you can have every idea that anyone posts on Roku in TradingView. So this is the daily chart, and you can see every single idea that anyone's ever posted at all. It's pretty cool. So if I post an idea, you can see one. This is the one by a real-life trader who I love dearly. His name is Ricky. And this was his post. I think I can send this to you guys. I'm pretty sure I can. So Steven says, do you have trading videos in TradingView? Oh, yeah. I got it all, Steven. If you type in real life trading, TradingView into YouTube, you got it. So if you click the play button, Mr. Squiggles on this one is working out really well, Ricky. I mean, guys, this is not my drawing. This is his. He pretty much nailed that. Am I right? Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? Manesh says, can I make 2,000 a month from swing trading? If yes, how active do I need to be and what my initial account size? Email me, Manesh. Let's talk more about that. I'll give you a better answer. So anyway, very good chart on Roku. According to Ricky, this is going to go down to $30 again, which makes sense. Gregory says, Jeremy, are these on TradingView? Yes, sir. That's where I'm at right now. John's asking about the other light bulb. Other light bulb, if you click on this light bulb over here on the right-hand side, Mr. Massey, those are your ideas. Down farther, ideas stream. You have no notifications. I believe these are the ideas from people that you follow. People that you follow. So if you follow people, then yes. Otherwise, if you click on this, now I know it's a lot of light bulbs. I didn't design TradingView, but maybe I would have had a picture of you, John. That would have worked better, I feel like. Just have a picture of you throwing money in the air. But this light bulb right here is for any idea on the stock at all. So you can do ideas of the people I follow and my ideas. You can do my ideas only, or you can do all ideas. It's kind of a cool little thing to have selected. But anyway, that's worth hundreds, guys, right there. I use that often. I pull up other people's charts all the time and just see what they're thinking. All right, next on the list is BIB. And there is only one trader that I know in BIB right now, and that was my good buddy Deepak. So back on the 1st of December, Deepak got into a May 2018 $45 call option, and he sold that today for, I believe it was 11 Rs. 11 Rs. Asha says, maybe a dumb question, but we cannot place trades in TradingView. Is that correct? That is correct. Not a dumb question at all. I will preface that statement with saying you can place trades in certain Forex brokers. I do not personally trade Forex right now. I am a cryptocurrency trader. That's the closest thing I can get to Forex. I love cryptos, but I do not trade Forex. But you can trade some stuff through TradingView. It's just not very much right now. Manesh, email me that question as well, buddy, if you don't mind. So just, yeah, anyway, so Deepak, he got into the trade. He made a killing on it, and he was the only one in the trade. So awesome job, Deepak. High five. You're the man. Next on the list is General Motors. General Motors. We're trying to watch this one to see what it's going to do. This is my daily chart. Notice this little double bottom pattern. This is where the weird part of me comes in, but I don't trade General Motors. Here's the double bottom. Here's the neckline, and we are retesting the neckline. So if you're looking at playing GM bullish, I understand why. Doug says, where's the best place to find out more on calls and puts? Type in how to trade options in real life. Type that into YouTube, Doug, and you'll get all the videos you can handle. Otherwise, shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to point you into the right place. So General Motors on a weekly also looks pretty good. Again, I'm not going to personally take this trade. Therefore, I won't make it official. But if you're looking at playing GM, I like it bullish to non-directional. Can anyone tell me when earnings is really quick on GM? I can pull it up. I think you guys will probably be faster. February 6th. Thank you, William and Vincent. I appreciate that. Asha says another question. Once we are swing traders, we pretty much do analysis in TradingView, and we use Thinkorswim. Correct. So you do your analysis in TradingView, and then you place the order in the broker, Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, whatever you want to do. Vincent says, I'm new. Can you do paper trading on TradingView? You know what's really cool, my man? I know it's kind of hard to see on my charting, but right there, a little button, paper trading. Yeah, baby. Ask and you shall find. Cool stuff, huh? Yep, it's down there at the bottom. You can paper trade. You are most welcome. Imagine how helpful I can be with stocks. Eric says, it might say trading panel at first, then you pick paper trading. That is very true. Yeah, that's true. It can pop up. It looks something like this, but yeah, you can paper trade. I don't use it, but I mean, I don't have any reason to paper trade, but you can. Heck yeah. So General Motors, February 6th is earnings. So if you're doing a bull put spread or put sale, I would say go below here on earnings. Before earnings, if you want to go over earnings, try to go 39 or lower. Otherwise, the most aggressive trade that I can see, which I think is more your style, Steven Jackson, I know you like trading GM a lot. This is the hourly chart. And if I were playing GM personally, which I'm not, but if I were, I would be getting in bullish above 43.50 with a stop at 42.80. And that would be the kind of breakout level that I would look to take on General Motors. If you're asking why I'm not taking GM, honestly, can't be in everything. That is why. Chuck says, dumb question. Why not use Thinkorswim for charts and research? Because it's really clunky. It is not effective. It's not browser-based. It doesn't have a social media component. You can't share ideas and charts very easily. And it's hard to use. And that's why. And you can make a wrong mistake, click a button a little bit too fast, buy something on accident if you're not being careful. Claude, I won't have time to go over that at the end of the webinar, but email me and I will send you plenty of videos on how to place OCO orders. It's very phenomenal. Ash says, is it true? Do we need a powerful laptop for trading? The answer to that question is yes, you should get a powerful computer for trading. Next on the list is Amazon, AMZN. And Amazon, my buddy Jesse James Levan making 14 R's on Amazon. Just incredible. So just an amazing move. So for those traders who are still in Amazon, increase that stop size a little bit. If you're not in, any guesses on Amazon, what type of gap this is? Retest gap, exactly. So if you're looking at playing Amazon, here's how you would. Boom, boom. Meaning create a dip and look to buy that dip. That's right. White candle gapping up. This is an all-time high on Amazon. So you don't want to buy at the highest price that it's ever been ever. You don't want to do that. The trend is bullish, unarguably. Right? And again, you can pull up the hourly chart. You'll have all kinds of data as to when to get in. So these are all these fun moving averages. You know, buy the dip, get it from there, and rock out. Joe Cedic, if you don't mind emailing me that question as well, and I will send you all the links and articles for that information. Marta says, don't spend more than $1,200 for a laptop. That's true. I'll let some of the laptop tech people post stuff about the laptops. Honestly, Ash, you could just do a Toshiba, 8 gigs of memory at minimum, 500 megs of hard drive space. Doesn't need to be anything crazy. If you want to buy a Mac, I'm a Mac guy. Just get a MacBook Pro. Any normal laptop should be fine for trading. The most important thing, realistically, is I would say gigs of memory. 8 gigs is the lowest you would go. Right? I would say something over 18 or 8 gigs. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. I'm not a computer pro. I have a few computers, but I get people who are much smarter than me to tell me about my computer stuff. Mr. Bista says, is the afternoon session recorded? Yes, sir, it is. Let me know if you got the recording from yesterday's afternoon room. You should have received it in your email inbox. It was 3 hours of recording from yesterday. So if you got that, I'm going to send you the one today as well. And then on Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday, and the next week, 5 days a week, every day, you will get your recording. So Amazon, buy the dip if you're looking at playing it. Square, ticker symbol SQ. Square is doing its thing right now. We talked about Square just yesterday, and I mentioned if you wanted to buy it, buy a dip, right? I had a limit buy at 43.24. The low of today on Square was 43.50. So I missed it by 26 cents. That's okay. There will be another opportunity to get in on Square for you guys if you're not already in. Remember, I did post a chart back here to get in on Square. A lot of people are trading Square. Some nice, good bullishness happening right now. Trend is bullish. So if you're in, stay in. If you're not in, find a dip and then buy that. So that's pretty much about it. Richard says, Amazon antitrust threat could be a buying opportunity with Bezos making noise against Trump with his Washington Post, or Trump has to do what he's told by Bezos. Oh, man. That's a good question. Honestly, Richard, I'd just say that's probably a non-event. It's a very, very good question, but I don't think it's a non-event, man. Amazon's going to keep going higher. Buy the dip. In fact, never mind. I'll get to that later. It's just going to be some targeting. Okay, Netflix. So we might go a little bit long today, but I'm going to go a little bit faster. Again, if you guys have questions, I'm happy to help, but some of them I will just answer via email because they are longer than a one-word response. Niels had a put sale on Netflix, which is a naked put. We've been very bullish on Netflix for a very long time. I truly saw the other day a one-wing pigeon who took a trade on Netflix and made money. A pigeon with one wing. Look at this trend on Netflix. The pigeon's name was Fernando. Fernando, the one-wing pigeon. It was a blind one-wing pigeon too. Couldn't even see the chart. That's how bullish Netflix was. Yeah. So Netflix cranking it out. Very strong gap today. Now, type in a 1 if you got a chance to buy some puts at open. We talked about that just yesterday, and I said, hey, guys, there will be some selling. This was the drawing that I did yesterday. Let me turn off the extended hours. Give me 1 second. Where did it go? Oh, I can't do it if it's not on extended hours? That's lame. May have to do it on the 15-minute chart. There it is. Check out that, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, all I'm saying is, come on now. I drew that yesterday. Come on, folks. So that was 24 hours ago. That's not bad. That's not bad. So this was a trade that we placed in the morning room, day trading room. This was a Morningstar reversal. It came down to the 15 EMA. We made 0.6R on it. It wasn't anything special, just a little bit of a small gain. But it did pull back. That wave rotation was flawless right to the 10. I mean, come on, guys. I'm going to help you make a lot of money. Just got to trade with me, okay? So that was the day trade. Quick little in and out. Nothing too big. For those who feel like you're missing Netflix, you're not. This is a retest gap. I think we're going to retest a little bit more. A little bit more. So this is as we mentioned yesterday, a retest gap. So if you guys want to go back to the recording yesterday, I talked about people will sell at open. Wait 5 to 6 minutes because the implied volatility is going to crush a little bit, and then you can make some small change on some bearish positions. I mentioned go fast, go quick. It's not going to pull back that far. So from here, if you're looking at where's the next pullback on Netflix, the 10 EMA on the hourly. That'll be the next spot I will look for a bounce. I am not going to buy a blind bounce on Netflix. What that means is I'm not going to set up an entry here and a stop here and just let it walk away. I could, and if you want to, go for it. The only reason I'm not is because this trend was pretty massive. And I think there's going to be a little bit more selling potentially that's going to come in before it bounces. Asher, I won't have time for this particular class to talk about beta weighting, but if you want to email me or post it in Slack, I'll be able to help you with that. Santi says, might sell the 260, 265 for next week. Bear call spread, possible. I personally will only do the bull put spread. It's just in my plan that I'm not allowed to try to pick the top on a credit spread. So David says, please explain the theory on buying puts on the dip. It wasn't buying puts on the dip. It was buying puts at open. So white candle, gapping up. You buy puts, right? Puts go up as the stock goes down. So, you know, Netflix opened at 255, closed at 250. You could have made 2 or 3 points on a put option, you know, 10, 20, 30% ROI, nothing crazy. But anyway, bottom line, guys, on Netflix, pull up the hourly chart and look for the bounce off the 10. If it doesn't bounce off the 10, I'm going to wait for the 50 EMA on the hourly chart, non-extended hours. Okay? So I'll repeat that. If it doesn't bounce off the 10, I'm going to look for bounce off the 50. But I will be playing Netflix bullish. Go ahead and start planning bullish. This is a retest gap. It's going to retest at some point, and it will go higher. Netflix will hit 300 this year. The reason that recently, if you will, I guess, or the last 2 years, I gained a little notoriety in the website world with the big boys is because down here, I mentioned that Netflix would triple in less than a year, and it did. So I got it right. And sometimes all I need is one big winner. But Netflix, I mean, it's just going to keep cranking for a little bit. Pull back, but yeah, 300 definitely possible. I like it. Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit long on this one. American Express is the next on today's list. American Express. So American Express, we got the 50 exponential moving average. That is the green line. We did gap down on earnings. You do have some support right here. And today we have a little bit of a bearish candle. Here's the hourly chart. And the hourly, it looks a little like a wedge pattern. So it could go in any direction. But if you hop over to the weekly, what you'll notice is American Express has a nice little bullish trend. These are the previous all-time highs back over here. This was the highest that American Express has ever been. I'm just going to draw this line right there, kind of make that support zone. And we're retesting it. So, Brian Shepard, you're the one that requested this trade. I'm not going to take this trade myself personally. Why? Just can't be in everything. That's pretty much it. Here is what I would do on American Express. I would get in bullish above the high of today's bearish candle. My stop would be below the low of yesterday's candle. And I would exit somewhere up here around 102 on a shorter term swing trade. A longer term trade, if you want to get in, you know, for months or so, it'll probably consolidate a little bit longer. Personally, I think American Express will probably do this, and then that. So if you want to get in longer term, you could consider some put sales or bull put spreads up here, maybe leg into some shares. The trend looks good, but again, over here on a monthly chart, it's just simply retesting its previous all-time highs. By the way, look at that chart. Tell me how well American Express bounces off those long-term moving averages on a monthly chart. Beautiful. Okay, next on the list is FireEye. Ticker symbol FEYE. FireEye. Bill, what do you got on this one, my friend? Do you have a covered call or something? I like this hammer candle. Let me go look at this weekly chart. Ooh.
Another series of rumored buyouts going on.
Oh, FireEye has a rumored buyout?
Yeah, it's like the latest one.
Okay, right on. Yeah. Bill says he's just watching it. You got a nice bounce off this 100 simple on the weekly. Here's the daily charts, and you're kind of stuck in between the long-term moving averages right now. I'd continue to keep an eye on this one. Let's put this on the list for Friday. I think it's starting to get ready. And let's watch it so if it can pop. Because if it does have a rumored buyout and it does get a buyout, that could be exciting. Next on the list is TCX. TCX, Two Cows Incorporated. Daily chart, weekly chart. Bill said, who's going to buy it? Do you remember, Frank, what the rumor was?
Didn't state it.
Don't know.
They've had a series of rumored. Yeah, this is probably the latest one.
Gotcha. This is TCX. I'm not in this trade. This is just one that someone requested. Check out this, guys. Look at that. Resistance, support, support. That's where you would have bought. All right, John, you rock, buddy. Have a great day. So if you bought TCX on that dip at that support, congratulations. My stop at this point would be below that wick at 49.90. Again, here's the weekly chart, and the weekly, you got an inside week so far, 2 days in, and you're at the 50 EMA on the weekly chart. So I'm not saying this is going to bounce for whoever requested TCX. What I am saying is if it will bounce, this is a location of which that'll happen. Alibaba, I've said it a few times. I want to make sure I really say it at this point, folks. Alibaba likely will hit $300 next year. This is a very strong bullish trade. My good friend Javier made 4 R's on BABA today. What type of gap was BABA, ladies and gentlemen? Say gap and go. Exactly. This was actually very similar to the gap and go I discussed in the Wealth 365 presentation. You guys remember that when I talked about 2 black wicked pair of candles and a bullish gap above the high of both candles? That's what we were getting ready for on BABA. That's what that is. Many of you here are from Wealth 365. So this was a good move. It was a nice gap and go, as Ray said, and we are at a resistance right now. Very pretty day, absolutely. So I'm going to give this one 2 or 3 more days. Let it close above these resistances. Let it start retesting. But if you want to do some longer-term put sales, some bull put spreads, longer-term shares, something like that on BABA, I think it looks very nice. Steven says, is there a recording of the 365 presentation? Yes, sir. In fact, it's actually on the front page of reallifetrading.com. Hop over there and scroll down. It is right there. 3 hidden secrets of candlesticks that will make you profitable. I will post that in the chat pane for you, Steven. There you go. Enjoy. You're welcome. My mission is to enrich lives. So BABA, keep it on your watch list, folks. Put it on your bullish watch list. She will go higher from where she is today in the future. And do not miss this train when she continues higher. Apple. Victor has a February week 1 put sale. A little bit of an upper shadow today on Apple. It had a solid bullish morning and then just kind of rolled over a little bit. John says, I want to buy Apple $200 call out of the money, directional, about 60 days out. Costs about $1. Please comment your opinion. This will be a Vegas trade, aka a gamble. I would say no on the $200 60 days out. I'm looking at a 190 January 2020 call on a little bit of a pullback. Looks like Apple's down. Marta, that's very small, 0.22%. It's nothing too drastic. The 20 EMA will provide some support on Apple at 175.43. All I can say on Apple, my friends, is if we close below this giant bullish candle, the 50 is going to be the first stop, and then we might even get to the 100 before earnings. So if you're looking at going long on Apple, that's fine. Just go, if you're going bullish, go bullish long-term on Apple for right now. There's a lot of news on it, and it does need to pull back a little bit. So long-term bullish on Apple is good. Short-term, I would wait. Earnings are right around the corner. Let's see how it interacts with this candle, because if it closes below this candle, I think it's going to go a little bit lower. So, John, secondly, just as a reiteration, as far as trading goes, never use the word gamble. This is not gambling. Don't treat it like gambling. Two totally different things, my man. Gamble in the casino, but trade like a boss. Facebook makes a new all-time high today. Marios, congratulations. A lot of traders sold some puts on Facebook. Facebook is a very strong move. Here's the exponential moving averages. And my plan on Facebook is pretty simple. If and when we get a dip, ladies and gentlemen, look to buy it. If you want to buy longer-term calls, if you want to buy some shares, if you want to sell some puts, if you want to get into a put sale, if you want to do a bull put spread, if you want to do some type of debit spread, as long as you're going bullish on Facebook, it makes sense. But you want to do that on a pullback. If you miss this pullback, there will be another one, but that was a very good pullback opportunity. The cool thing about this, it was a black candle gapping down. What type of gap is that, my friends? It's a retest gap, exactly. So you would imagine that it would retest, which it did, roll over, and then continue higher. The overall predominant trend is bullish on Facebook. As long as you're bullish on Facebook and you're buying the dips, looks pretty. Visa is next online. This is the daily chart on Visa, new all-time high. Strong trend. Not a buyer here on Visa, definitely not a seller. I would just simply say if you're in this stock, let it pull back and then buy the dip. You've heard me say that a few times today. Dennis says, when do you stop buying the dip? After it stops working 4 or 5 times. Asha says, I sold calls for 2R. Hey, fantastic. Nice job. I think you were the only one in that trade, with that particular call trade. So on to the next one. If you're in shares long-term, Visa looks fine. Nike is a wait and see. Give Nike a little bit more time, folks. Here's the weekly chart. Are you buying high if you buy right now? The answer, when we come back after this series of commercials from Coca-Cola. Yeah, we're buying very high right now on Nike. This is the retest. This is the dip that you would wanted to have bought. Oops, right here, this pullback. So my buddy Donnie Baldwin got in. Strong resistance on Nike. So I'm just not buying right now. Richard says, is it out of resistance? Absolutely. Yeah, man, that purple line is a huge resistance. I'm not saying it can't go higher, but what I'm saying is if it trades higher and it pulls back, you could probably get Nike at the exact same price it is now, just 2 weeks from now, or maybe even longer. It's just my thinking. So if you're in Nike, it's probably at a pretty decent resistance. You could probably sell some covered calls, and I'd like to see it continue higher. Shaz says, do you buy small cap stocks? Sometimes. Remember, Shaz, I'm just looking at stocks that you guys requested. You guys mostly requested these yesterday. So if you want a small cap stock, just request it, and I'll put it on the list. Ticker symbol TEAM had a very nice breakout right here, almost like a double bottom pattern. Here's a resistance, and it broke out, retested, and today is a very nice candle on TEAM. In fact, it traded down to the 20, and you had that 50 at 49.05. Andre made 2 R's on this one. Woo! Nice job, brother. Very well done. Was that a day trade, Andre? Lita says, are you bullish on GLD? I do not have any position on GLD right now, Miss Lita, but I can put that one on the list for tomorrow, and we'll check it out. Andre said it was a swing. Nicely done, my man. Nicely done. So team weekly charts. This is a good bullish trend. It's a newer IPO. It's retesting the previous all-time high. I mean, if you're in bullish still, sweet. If not, this actually looks pretty good for a potential continuation. Unfortunately, I have a rule that says I have to wait 18 hours. I have to plan, think about, and write down a trade before 18 hours in advance before I can take it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and create the plan, and I'm going to come back to team tomorrow and see what it's doing, because right now it doesn't look that bad. We might be able to catch this for another pullback. The trend looks good. But Andre, congrats, man, on your 2R. Give me an update, by the way. Shoot me an email. Let me know where you're sitting at for the month. That doesn't want to work. Okay, I don't need it. Oh, TradingView slowing down. Just the average thing. John says, if you're a directional, how far would you go out on options? 4 months is a healthy amount of time. All right, that's team. Here's CORT, C-O-R-T, CORT Therapeutics. Another phenomenal example of a dip buying opportunity. Here's your previous all-time high, or not previous all-time high, I haven't checked, but previous resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the wave count. That right there is the retest of old resistance, new support. It's a nice looking trend. If you're in CORT, let me come out here to a monthly chart. Yeah, you're probably locking in some profits some point pretty soon. And you'll look to buy the next dip. In fact, I really like this trend. It's undisputable and unarguable. So I'm going to put this one on the Tech Giant Tuesday list for next Tuesday. See if it pulls back into that 20. Nice little cup and handle, as Santi has mentioned. And it's a good trend. Tesla. So here's my wave count on Tesla. I did post this in TradingView a few days ago. Actually 3 weeks ago. I think this is the retest of old resistance, new support. Mila got in on the 18th of January and sold today at her target. Niels has a put sale on Tesla. This is a naked put expiring Friday. So I'll put this one on the list. It is already on the list for Friday. And honestly on Tesla, here's the weekly chart. Let me just hide my drawings really quick. And this looks like a little bit of a double bottom, right? Mila says, and it got in again a few days ago. Oh, yeah. All right. So we have kind of a little bit of a double bottom, a pullback to 344. Right. So if I turn the line drawings back on, that would be my wave 4 of this drawing. And it'd be, again, you've heard me say it before, hashtag buy the dip, hashtag buy the salsa. Next on the list is Chevron. Todd says, can you put CDXS on the list? I will put that on the list for Thursday. We're already getting filled up for the week, and I like it. I'm going to start turning on some turbo boosters. Chevron, nothing exciting about Chevron. It's coming up into a resistance, previous all-time high. Trend has already done its thing. It's already bounced. You're at an all-time high. I'll put it on the list tomorrow. I can tell you for sure that I'm not going to be placing any new trade on Chevron, but we'll look at it more tomorrow just in case. That is Energy Wednesday, of course. Micron. I looked at Micron in depth today. A lot of traders are in Micron as of yesterday. Yesterday is a hammer candle, and not only is it a hammer candle, it's a shaved top hammer candle. So what we got here is a potential double bottom on MU. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the 2 places you could consider going bullish on MU if you're not already in. Spot number 1 would be a pullback if it trades back down to there. And number 2 would be a breakout above the high of today and the high of January 18th. I do have a naked put sale on MU. So does Brad. And I think this is a bullish non-directional kind of trade where it's going to chop around for a little bit longer but eventually go higher. I could be wrong about that. This would be a double bottom if we close above the neckline of 44.82. If that happens tomorrow, keep your eyes on it, because that could be a good bullish trade. That's the rules for trading Micron Technology. Otherwise, like I said, I just like it to chop around a little bit longer. Bull put spread, put sale, all that stuff has been working fairly well on MU. Mario says, isn't a double bottom bullish if it closes above the neckline? Yes, sir. You're absolutely correct. Here's a MasterCard, which is very similar to Visa. Made a new all-time high today. And again, the trend at this point is just getting ridiculous. Nothing goes up forever, not even Bitcoin. So it's going to pull back to maybe 164 at some level, maybe even the 20. If and when MasterCard pulls back, look for a dip buying opportunity. CVS, this was another stock that I mentioned in December I was very bullish on for the year. We have closed above the 50 EMA on a weekly chart. Here's the long-term moving average. And what's about to happen on CVS Health is we're about to come into a resistance and the 100 simple moving average. So I will look at a bear call spread on Chevron next week. Why next week? I think it could go up a little bit higher between now and then. I keep seeing Chevron. CVS. So Monday of next week, I'm going to put CVS bear call spread. I'm going to be looking for that on CVS Health, not Chevron. Bank of America. Bank of America. So Bank of America, this is the weekly charts. We're cruising. We've already gotten a dip on Bank of America. That was the buying opportunity right there. So if you're not in from that dip, I would just say buy the next one. You got a long way to go because your 2008 debacle, but the next large resistance on Bank of America is 33.44. Shout out to my boy Warren Buffett, who's tearing up some Bank of America. But overall, I don't have any shares. I don't have any positions in Bank of America, but most banks look like, to me, they will slowly continue higher. Priceline, PCLN, not doing too much today, only up, 2.5%. Here's the daily chart, and it all started from the bottom. Now we're here. Had a very good bullish one white soldier candle, as most stocks did. The trade that I had on Priceline, I did not take because I didn't have the capital. It happens sometimes with the higher price stocks. Matthias says, have to leave. Thanks, bro. For you, Matthias, anything, man. So let me send you guys my Priceline chart just so you have access to it. It was a very nice recognition that the bearish gap was going to fill. This was back on December 18th, by the way. December 18th, and I mentioned Priceline higher from here. And again, you can read my notes. And I was mentioning it was a strong gap, and it's closing above that gap. So since it's closing above that gap, the bears are going to be trapped. And it's going to go higher, so on and so forth. And the trade that I wanted to take, I just didn't have the capital for. I could have bought calls, but it is what it is. You can't be in everything. So very nice move on Priceline. The only two things I used, I guess you could call it three things to make that determination, was gap analysis, support and resistance, and candlestick analysis. I didn't use anything else. So anyway, if you're in Priceline, next target 2034. John, email me that question, my friend, and I'll be happy to do my best to answer it, sir. Next on the list is SHAK. Take some SHAK. And SHAK. We're about to get ourselves an official swing trade on SHAK. Trying to set up this double bottom bounce. Put the stop right about there. And this is our newest official swing trade on SHAK, SHAK bullish swing. Double bottom neck line retest, question mark. Make sure I spelled that right. SHAK. Okay, SHAK. Okay. Long direction, trend analysis, tags, SHAK, real life trading. If you want to play this with options, you can. They're a little spready on SHAK. Andre, I will not have time for Twitter, my friend, but I will put it on the list for tomorrow. So this is going to be a new bullish swing trade. Lucy says, do you set up alerts? How are you able to keep track of so many stocks for pullbacks and then entries? So remember, Lucy, and I mentioned that earlier today, I'm not trading all these stocks, right? These are stocks that you guys are requesting. So it might be just one person out there in the world wants me to look at an individual stock. If I'm trading it, I'm going to make it an official trade. I'm going to put it in this worksheet. I'm going to tell everyone about it. And it's probably 2 or 3 a week. So even if I had the money to trade everything that I look at, I wouldn't be able to afford it. So again, these are mostly your requests from other people because the show is not about me. That'll be a very boring show. If it was just what I wanted to look at, we pull up one stock a day and one gap a day, and that'd be pretty much about it. I don't do that much fancy stuff. But for those who subscribe, and Lucy, I think you're in. New swing trade. So that's the only one I'm going to be keeping track of. Lucy, the new one from today is going to be SHAK. We'll see if she pulls back. What happens? Will it work? Who knows? TCEHY. This one gaps all the time. Obviously, we all are very familiar with Tennyson. Many people are hanging out Michael says, where's the journal located on the site? It's actually not on the site, Mr. Michael Wong. It is for traders who subscribe to the trading room. So if you want access to it, it's very simple. Sign up and we'll give it to you. So 10-cent holdings, very good dip buying opportunity. It pulled down to the 50, had a phenomenal bounce, new all-time highs. The thing with TCEHY, keep holding as long as you can. Find a good target, sell there, and then buy the dip. Very, very powerful stock. Ash says, when to get in on this one? The time to have gotten in on this one would have been back here somewhere. The bounce off of the 50, right? Buy the dip. Buy into weakness, sell into strength. So that would have been it. From now, you would definitely wait. You wouldn't want to buy here with Donald Trump's money. So this is the previous all-time high. So if it pulled back to there, that would be a win. The best trades are usually the ones you wait the most for. So yeah, that would be a buy the dip for sure. And the rest I will put on the list for tomorrow because I'm already over. I don't want to hold you guys up too long. I know you got stuff to do. So throw in at me what else you guys want to look at for Energy Wednesday, and I will put in. The way it works is the more time you guys give me for my stock reviews, more time we'll have. I know Disney was requested, SLB, NEE, MGM, WEC, XLE. Lax says, Jeremy, do you have a fib analysis for Priceline? I've seen an old one, but there's a big one. No fib needed on Priceline, Lax. If you're looking for a target, just look at the most previous resistance from about 5 months ago, and you will find a location to sell. NAK, CSIQ. I already got ETP on the list. All right, let me go ahead and add some of the ones that requested. Lita, I do not know the answer to that question. Give me 1 second. TLT, Boeing. Already got gold on the list. MYO, HESO, VLE, TSRO, WATT, Chevron, and Twitter. And US Steel and SPWR. Winnie Christopher says IBP. Okay. Folks, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being here. You are amazing. Thank you for helping me enrich lives. If you guys have any other questions, you know where to find me. Until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.